remember when I told you guys I removed the factory bump stops on my 350Z? I did remove the bump stops, the factory bump stops on both sides. Theoretically, that gives you more angle. See, I really did say that. Anyways, if you do remove your factory bump stops, don't throw them away like I did. Otherwise, you might find yourself out at a junkyard in Mesa, Arizona on a Saturday afternoon, pulling parts on an Infiniti G35, hanging out with dudes that watch your channel.
Yes, sir.
And on top of that, you will not be able to install a GKTECH angle kit because the bolts are required. But I digress. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Phoenix, Arizona, and welcome to another video. Today we will be installing the GKTECH V3 angle kit on my 350Z. Reason I went with GKTECH is because if you decide to get all nutty about your angle, they've got a ton of options that go with the V3 angle kit to give you even more angle, and a lot of other companies don't have that. So that's why I went with the GKTECH system. I think I'll just dive right into the install and we can talk about it more while we're installing. All right, here's the GKTECH kit. It came in this box. It says V2. Whether or not it's a V2 or a V3, I don't know. I asked Officer Dan. I think he kind of, I don't know what he is with GKTECH, but here's the conversation I had with Officer Dan. Sounds like this is either a set that there are only 50 made of, or maybe it is the true V3. I know if you look at it on their, I'm not going to use these. I know if you look at it on their website or on their YouTube video, the V3 kit that they have, I believe, has these Ackerman adjustment things, which I don't even know what they do, on both ends. And on this one, this little piece right here isn't on this side, but in their YouTube video it is.
From the bracket, you'll see a little black insert on either side. If the tie rod is closer to the outside of the car, you will have less Ackerman. If you want more Ackerman, take each one and flip it so the tie rod is closer to the inside of the car, giving you more lead wheel and less trailing.
I don't think it's a big deal. There's a hole on each end, so depending on where you line this one up with, you use that corresponding hole, but it could have just been a cost-saving measure. So if you get it and that's what you see, maybe that's what they decided to do on the V3 after they made the video, or maybe you've got one of the 50 V2s out there like me, which I don't even know if this is what that is. Who knows? Now the kit comes with these two sleeves, one longer than the other so that you can get the maximum amount of thread on the tie rod back here. I don't know, it's kind of dark already, but so you can get the maximum amount of threads on here. So just use whichever one works best for your kit. Comes with some instructions. I don't think we're going to need them. Okay, tools you're going to want for this are a needle nose pliers. You're going to need a 24mm socket, a 14mm socket, a couple crescent wrenches, and a hammer. Maybe a 19mm socket too. And of course a torque wrench. Okay, first thing you're going to want to do is probably take off the 14mm bolts that hold the factory bump stop in. I already had mine out, and then of course I used the crescent when I took my factory bump stops out, but mine are out right now, so I'm going to see if I can get away with not having to put them back in, but we'll see. Then you can take one of your crescent wrenches, or if you have the right size wrench, which I don't know what size it is unfortunately because I don't have one big enough, but loosen the tie rod nut here. Next you're going to want to take your pliers, remove the cotter pin. Once you get that cotter pin out, use a 19mm and remove the nut. Then you're going to want to take your sweet bro hammer that your buddy gave you, smack the top of this until it pops out, and wind it off. Alright, and then next you've got a cotter pin on this nut and bolt right here, so you're going to want to remove that, and then this is another 19mm nut that you'll need to remove. And when you're removing this one, you're going to want either a friend with his hand on the steering wheel, or you're going to want to use an impact, because if you start turning, the whole suspension will turn if it's just you. So, hot tip. Now I threaded on the longer sleeve so that I got maximum thread engagement, but it's going to be up to you. And then as far as the Ackerman thing goes, for the time being, I set it on the inside hole. So, whatever that means for Ackerman. Then just thread the GKTECH kit on. I don't know if this is necessarily the right way to do it, but you got to thread it on far enough so that the bolt holes on the kit line up with the factory bump stop bolt holes. You line those holes up, line it up then over here as well with this, I don't know, arm that comes down, and you want to get the 19mm nut on over there, and then the 14mm bolts that the factory bump stop pad will go through here. Highly recommend you tighten everything with a socket wrench first. Don't just hit this with an impact. Then you're going to want to torque those factory bump stop bolts to 48 foot-pounds. Last bolt is this one right here that comes on the kit. 24 millimeters and 65 foot-pounds is the torque spec for that one. Okay, next I'm going to center the wheel. Got that tire centered, and I'm just going to play with this a little bit because I think the alignment's off a tiny bit. Well, obviously you're going to need alignment, but you just twist on here. I don't know if you can see it moving, but that's how you mess with the alignment on this. Okay, I've got the alignment about as straight as I'm going to get it, so now I'm just going to tighten these lock nuts down, obviously with a wrench, but I'll do it off camera. I don't have my tripod today, it's in my Eclipse, so that's why the action shots aren't as good today. Not the easiest to see, but you can see the little joint here is completely off center, so I'm just going to center that, just put a wrench around here and turn it. Like so. So you want it to look about like that. It's hard to get the right angle, or you can show it all and not lose focus, but keep it centered. Okay, now we got to check for clearances now that everything's in. So I'm going to go start spinning the wheels a little bit and see if I can find anything that the kit's rubbing on. Remember, I don't have that factory bump stop in right now. This is hard to the left on the driver's side. The wheel is probably the closest to the GKTECH kit on this side, but there's room. Oh, here we go. I've got the coilover bolt and nut tapping the end of the GKTECH kit. Get that to focus. Now when you turn the other way on the driver's side, wheel spins fine. The coilover has room. And the brake lines, nothing's... Oh, it's getting pretty close. I don't know if you guys can see that. Pretty close, right behind the coil over there. There's where a brake line goes into the caliper. It's got clearance though. Okay, from the front on the driver's side, I think everything clears when the wheel is turned hard to the left without the factory bump stops. Leave a comment, let me know, but everything looks fine on the driver's side anyway. Let's check the passenger. I'm guessing it's the same issue we had on the driver's side, where the factory coilover nut and bolt are hitting the GKTECH kit. Alright, let's give that a try. Okay, so I got them reversed. The wheels are off right now. That is still the limiting factor, but I think it's better than it was before. You guys comment below, let me know if it's okay to let that be the stopper or not. I should probably put the factory bump stops on, shave them off, because I don't think I want those smashed into each other. But if you head over here, turned hard over, everything clears. Plenty of clearance down here. I think the next closest thing would be that brake line right there is getting pretty close to the strut or coilover, but that would be the next thing. Here it is with the wheels on then. Tire or wheel still spins fine. Clearance is pretty tight in a couple spots. I don't know if you can see right here between the kit and the wheel. That's getting pretty tight. In order to go any further, we'd probably have to get a different, I don't know if this is a lower control arm or what, but GKTECH does sell a kit where it relocates this to give you more angle, probably because this is the limiting factor, so good for them for seeing a niche. But I think this will be plenty of angle for me for now. Once this video is up for a couple days and I've talked to a few different people, I think what will end up happening is I'll probably end up shaving this way down so that this is the limiting factor and not the GKTECH kit. But let me know what you guys think down below if I can leave that. Just let the bolt and the GKTECH kit make love to each other on corners. But I assume this will probably go back in, shaved way down. Coming to you from the past, here is the stock angle on the 350Z. Passenger side. And of course driver's side. And back to the present. I'll try and get similar angles so that I can do a comparison shot between the stock video I took and this video today. So I'll splice the two together so you can see. It might be hard to tell the difference. Driving the car, I will tell you, I can feel a difference. Like when you turn it I don't want to say it crab walks, but you can definitely tell there's more turning capabilities. The car is definitely a lot more jerkier now when you're turning hard because of that extra angle. I think between the welded rear diff and that extra angle, it really kind of herks and jerks the car. So it's becoming more and more of a daily drifter or non-streetable car, but still somewhat streetable. I think that will do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're looking to get in the GKTECH kit, the V3 anyways, you know, it's fine. It's not gonna be like anything ridiculous, like your wheels aren't gonna turn completely sideways, but install was easy, price is right. For a guy like me who doesn't even know how to drift yet and just wanted a little bit of extra angle so he could learn, I think it's a good option because you can always tack onto it with their lower control arms and other accessories. So for my money, GKTECH seems like a good option. In any event, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I appreciate you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one.
Listen.